Filling up at the gas pump will soon cost many Canadians an extra 3 cents per litre. Home heating will be more pricey too. This year's federal carbon tax hike comes after months of pressure on the Liberal government, especially from premiers who say cash-strapped Canadians can't afford it. Now Manitoba's premier is making the case for an exemption.
Manitoba has a really strong case to make that we're going to hit net zero without a consumer-facing carbon tax.
BC and Quebec are already exempt because they brought in their own carbon pricing programs that meet or exceed the federal carbon tax. Manitoba plans to present Ottawa with its own plan, which Wab Kinew says can meet the bar, in part because of hydropower.
We have effectively decarbonized our electricity in Manitoba, and that's true today.
Canada's Deputy Prime Minister says Ottawa is all ears.
Where provinces and territories are interested in and are prepared to come forward with their own provincial or territorial plans to put a price on pollution, we are very, very keen to work with them.
Who's ready to axe the tax?
It comes as federal Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre rallied against the tax this week in Winnipeg and met with Premier Kinew.
As for the Premier's view on the April Fool's Day Trudeau tax hike, he can speak for himself. He's more than capable, and I'm happy to work with him and anyone to bring home lower prices for Canadians.
But more than 300 economists signed a letter this week supporting the carbon tax, arguing that it does not contribute to inflation, despite what opponents say.
Any alternative that they're likely to suggest is going to be more expensive or more damaging for the economy than the carbon price.
And Marina, Ottawa says the tax hike is only half the story.
Yeah, Ottawa offsets the tax by sending Canadians rebate checks. Those will also increase tomorrow. The federal government says 80% of households get more money back than they pay out. Now, the purpose of the carbon tax is to fight climate change by encouraging people and businesses to switch to cleaner energy sources. And Ottawa argues it's working. Early modeling from the Canadian Climate Institute shows since the carbon tax was brought in 2019, the country's overall greenhouse gas emissions are down more than 5%.
All right. Thank you, Marina.